Hey, y'all. Hey, Spencer. We're swapped around again.
Huh?
We're swapped around again.
Yep, I know you do it on purpose. Man, that dang dark patch at the end of it gets me every time. Y'all bear with me a minute. I got nobody here. House is not here. Squirrel is not here. And I got to run all this stuff on my own. So, hello, everybody. Thank you for joining us, especially if you were on the YouTube last night, because we had a show last night. And if you haven't seen that, that was pretty good. Whenever Slade and Donna get going at it, that was funny. That was funny in and of itself. But hello, everybody in chat. Squirrel, you're in chat? Misty's in chat. Look at her. Look at her. I don't know where Greg is. Couldn't get a hold of him. Roger may possibly stop by in a little bit. Possibly. But either way, I can handle this. I got it. I'll probably mess up hitting the buttons or something while we do it. But thank you to everybody that's here. Thank you for the moderators and everything. Before I forget about that, I see that Diane and Gary are in there. So thank y'all. Please watch chat because I cannot keep an eye on this. Anyway, so I got a couple people. Might as well go ahead and bring them out because nobody wants to just sit here and hear me talk. Anyway, I have Miss Mary Fabian from Pennsylvania Bigfoot Project. Yeah.
Thank you.
I was getting there, Mary. I was getting there. I have a hard time with that. It's a long name.
Hey, what can I do? It is what it is.
I like the Monkey Wrench better than the PA Bigfoot Project.
Well, that's my private all female research team.
Oh, okay. You have an all female research group?
Yes.
I didn't know that.
Yeah.
Kind of like Sisters of the Moon, huh?
Yeah.
Do you get better results going out with just all females?
Oh, definitely. Yeah.
I knew you were going to say that. Man, females got such a leg up in the Bigfoot field. Sisters of the Moon, I truly do. I admire them. I mean, they're brave. They're great people. I mean, I love all of them. But man, they get results. They get good results.
Mm-hmm.
But anyway, so today I'm gonna bring out a guest. Mary is here because Mary is in Pennsylvania and she's been doing this a long time and she knows a lot of people. And I wanted her to weigh in on what Jeff is going to talk about. But let me kind of set the tone. I'll go ahead and bring Jeff out so that Jeff can hear this too. Jeff, how you doing, brother?
I'm good. How are you?
I'm great. Wait, what are you smoking?
Well, I just picked this one up the other day. It's a, I don't know, something Dominican.
Something Dominican. You have to be better than that. You have to be
La
better.
Flor Dominicano.
La Flor Dominica. Yeah, those are not bad. Those are not bad. I'm more of a Honduras and a Nicaraguan fan than the Dominican, but hey,
I'll smoke anything.
Don't. This is. That's okay. You had all this show. Oh wait, is she gonna jump on?
There she is.
Yes.
She so y'all, Missy has not had sleep. Turn your volume up. Squirrel, turn your volume up.
Hang on. I have to go out to do it. Hold on.
Brother Porch.
Way, way, way back when I used to smoke cherry blends.
Cherry blends. What is that? Like the little Blackstone kind of things?
I don't know. They're cheap and they tasted like cherry.
Well,
Yeah.
sometimes when I'm cheap, I'm smoking backwoods. So
Yeah. Did you know that actually, percentage wise, of all the people that smoke pipe tobacco, it's something like 15% are women because they just like the smell of it.
Yeah.
Anyway, Squirrel, say something.
I don't have my ex-wife here to bitch me about smoking in the house. So
just gonna draw all the attention from the chat today. I ain't gonna have to do nothing. Misty, how is everybody? Is everything okay? Are you good?
Yeah.
Okay.
Sorry I'm late, y'all.
Oh,
You're
it's-
lucky. You're lucky that I actually do kind of care about you somewhat because, I seen you alone and I told JR, I said, I can't do it. I can't leave him alone. I got to go help. It's been a rough morning and night. I've got a daughter that got food poisoning and she's been sick as a dog.
Oh.
Yeah.
Yeah. Well, Roger may possibly jump on here in a few, and if he does, you can get off because you look like you have not had any sleep in between last night and now. So,
Y'all, I've been crying. It's just been
Oh.
one of them days.
well,
It's
let's
good. I'm good.
Let's go ahead. So, before we go into Jeff's stuff, I would like to make a point with this show, and I would like to everybody in the Bigfoot world that sees this show, please understand, here is a guy willing to talk about what he has experienced, and it's very similar to what probably, I would say, 90% of people that have experienced Bigfoot activity have experienced, but he never really 100% laid eyes on it. And the key here is what we're going to do is we're going to go through his stuff and we're going to look at it and say, what do you think? Like I want everybody to weigh what he says with an open mind and think about it from his perspective. And if you were having this weird stuff go on and you couldn't quite put your finger on it because you never saw 100% exactly what did it, it doesn't mean you're crazy. It doesn't mean it's not Bigfoot. Doesn't mean 100% it is Bigfoot. But listen to the man speak and what happened to him. And then we're going to look at some other stuff about his location and his area and everything. So, Jeff, tell everybody how you got into it, and then you contacted us, and now we're here. But tell everybody how you got into it. What happened?
Well, I always believed in it, but it wasn't until I think it was 2008, 2009. We were a friend of mine and I were going up to fix a deer stand that a tree limb had fell on. And of course, in typical unprepared fashion, we had the world's dimmest flashlight and a handsaw. Probably not the best idea to be removing a tree limb on a deer stand after dark, but, we were early 20s, so we didn't really think that much of it at the time. Anyway, we were...
Jeff, before you get going, though, tell everybody where this was, what year it was, and explain about your property.
So our property is in northern Harford County, right on the PA line, closest to Delta Fawn Grove, which is like right below York. And we're a few miles from the Susquehanna River. I'm only about a mile from Deer Creek, which runs along the Rock State Park. And there's a ridge up behind us that dead ends right across from the King and Queen seat in the park, which is a really frequented tourist area, which dumbasses fall off of all the time, but that's another story. The section of property that we were going to was only about 300 yards from the barn, and it's right next to the golf course. And I'm trying to remember what time it was. I know it was after dark. It couldn't have been much later than maybe 7 o'clock. We got up there, and of course I got one of those old plastic ever-ready flashlights, but the damn batteries were about dead. And we had one really bad handsaw. Well, we started sawing on this limb. I'm holding the flashlight. My buddy Josh is sawing on this limb. And a couple minutes into this, the loudest, most ungodly noise I have ever heard cut loose about 100 yards from us. Now, when I mean loud, just think of being in front of a speaker. I felt like everything was vibrating. I mean, you could just feel the entire thing. I still to this day can't believe how loud it was. Honestly, at first, I thought, since we were younger at the time and didn't really know anything about this, we thought maybe it was just someone fucking with us. What did we know? And so I started cussing, thinking it was somebody trespassing on the property. Well, less than, 30 seconds after that, it's now 50 yards from us, and it's still screaming. And at that point, Josh stopped sawing. He didn't pay much attention to it at first, but
Josh was worried about something other than that tree branch.
Yeah, now he was, but yeah. And him and I have been in a lot of situations together, but that one right there was that was probably the craziest one. And he's behind me going, I don't know what that is, but let's start backing up towards the tractor. And I still had the John Deere sitting out in the field running. And we start backing up. Well, the damn thing screams again. And I said, fuck this. And I took off running past him.
You left Josh?
Yeah, I left him standing. We're going two different directions. I come up by the tractor. He gets off course and ends up down the hill from me. I get in the loader and I throw every damn light in that thing on, and I throttled it up. And I didn't think you could run a John Deere loader in road gear across a cornfield like that, but found out I could that night. He had to jump onto the damn stairs when I was driving past him because I was about ready to leave his ass.
Okay.
Oh, shit. Oh, shut up. And he's yelling at me, going, what in the hell you doing? You damn near left me. And I wasn't even listening to him. I was just heading across the field. I was on two wheels coming around the corner out of the turn. And then I found out that you can jump a hill with a tractor. Yeah. We drove all the way up next to my next to the barn at my grandfather's house, ran in there and slammed the door, and they're all looking at us going, what the hell's wrong with these two? They just thought we were overreacting, but
What'd you tell them?
I said, well, something was screaming at us in there. I don't know what the hell it was. And then my grandfather, a while later, said, I did find tracks over here in the 80s, or maybe before that. I can't remember when it was, but that was the only thing I remember him saying about it that evening. And we just lost him back in January, so I haven't really gotten a chance to talk to him about it again before the dementia set in. So never really got any answers on that. But there used to be a lot less houses around here back in those days.
So let me ask you a couple things, Jeff. Let's walking back for, so you drove a tractor. You drove a tractor up there to it.
Yeah.
And it was already after sunset.
Yep.
All right. So you're making a lot of noise in a tractor going up there.
I was just thinking about that after watching some of Kumbo's stories about people getting,
There's a correlation there somewhere with it. You said a branch had fallen on the tree stand.
Yeah.
When you looked around, could you tell where the branch came from?
Yeah, it looked like it had broke off up on the same tree, but up above the stand. And it was a 15-foot ladder stand. The tree's dead now, so it's kind of hard to tell. But I'd say from what I remember, it was a limb that was on that tree. I don't think anything could have reached it and broke it. Who knows? But it looked like a limb had just broke and fell across it. It didn't look like anything was like placed there.
So if you had a tree stand, if you had a ladder stand in that tree beforehand, somebody had been hunting out of there.
Yeah.
We've
killed several deer out of that.
Was it your stand?
Yeah, it was mine.
So you never had anything before that happen in that area?
Nothing.
You ever had any deer that you shot and you couldn't find them?
Few, but nothing like what Greg had. Just ones that we never ended up finding, losing the blood trails. But then again, there wasn't any reason for some of those deer to have lost the blood trail.
Well, that's what I'm saying, Jeff. Have you ever lost a deer and just not found them?
Well, I've never had one that I've gone to, seen it, gone back, and it was missing.
Oh, okay.
But I have,
I've had that happen though, where you follow the blood and then you hit that big blood pool and you're like,
and then there's nothing,
and it's not there. Yes, I agree with that. If Greg would get on here, he'd be all about that right now because
I know he would.
He's had it happen a couple times.
I just can't. I can't imagine having that happen.
No, that would definitely mess with you. If you walked over to it, saw it, picked it up, picked it, it's definitely dead. You go get the vehicle, come back 5 minutes later, and it's not there. Something got it. It's just a matter of what. But
now, I've had a couple that I thought were dead, and I went to, sit on my stuff down, and I kicked them, and they already got up.
Did you hear the last couple minutes, House?
My computer wouldn't do nothing. I've missed it all.
Jeff, there's Greg. We can go back over the. Oh, he's got Abby with him. Hey, Ab. Hey, by the way, just so everybody knows, before Jeff goes any further, hold on, y'all. Abby recently went to Kumbo's property. She had never been before. They went out there. They went around Kumbo's property. She got a booger rock. They went to dinner. I just wanted to show y'all some pictures. Here, Abby. That's Abby getting into Kumbo's truck because she rode with Kumbo.
That's Abby sitting there with Kumbo explaining everything.
Is that the booger tree?
That
The
is
original
booger
one?
tree. Yes, that's the famous booger tree.
Hold on. This thing, they're going to the point there.
That would be Abby riding with Kumbo because she had rode Kumbo.
That's a really good picture.
Look, that's Abby holding a rock. That is a good picture. That's Abby holding a rock. Kumbo rode on it for her.
Oh, yeah.
In fact, we got a picture of, that's all them. We got a picture of the rock. Look, it says to Abby shown up. Awesome.
Let me look at this rock. Yeah, I don't think that's what that says. What is that?
It's right there.
That's not what it
What do you think? That don't match. Look, I'm
It says to Abby shown up. Booger throwed the rock.
this rock. Something is different. I wonder what it is about that.
It was Spencer.
That's not what it is, Abby. And then they all went out to dinner, and I'm telling y'all, that restaurant is awesome right there.
Yeah. Oh man, we had a wonderful evening.
We
Alright.
eat like crazy when we go there, don't we? I mean,
The thing about it is
we're
this
all
dog out
passing
here.
food. Try this.
You
Yeah.
described it.
We
Remember
did-
the fried mushrooms?
oh,
It was
we
like
did-
a bucket of fried mushrooms.
we got two baskets last night, but oh, they were good. They were so good.
Oh, man.
But this little girl right here, I was so proud of her because undoubtedly every word that Kumbo said yesterday, she's got like locked away right in this little chunk right here.
Yeah.
Because we got driving home, I was doing the podcast with y'all last night, but when we lost y'all, she goes into like a history lesson and she starts telling us all about Ford City, Alabama, and how Henry Ford was going to come there and start this whole new city. And who else? Thomas Edison or somebody? Thomas Edison, something about him.
In a tire company, and they was gonna make, and they was looking all throughout the United States for a good place to build, and they chose Alabama, and they chose to build there because they have the resources to like power from the water and the coal. And the state got mad because they didn't build it in their state, so they took them to court, and Ford and them lost, so they weren't able to build anything else.
So look, she got her a history lesson yesterday. So look here. Thank you, Kumbo Baker, my child. That is scorched in her head. She can give you background on Ford City, Alabama. Y'all look, and that's just the tip of it because she was like blah, 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 all the way home, and we were like, Kumbo is like. He had told her all kind of stuff, and she look. I mean, it's factual knowledge, but she got her history lesson. So Kumbo like made a massive impact on her yesterday. And here's the thing, y'all. She's been around Kumbo a lot, but she had never got in the truck and rode on his farm and got the Abby Kumbo because she was. Oh, and she got full on Kumbo experience and. That's stored away right here.
She went to Kumbo University.
Yes.
Yeah.
Graduate Kumbo University shirt.
She got the abridged certificate. She was like, "Hey, let me drive you around here and tell you everything. Here's a rock. Here you go." Did he get out and scream at them and make them say hello?
No, he didn't. He didn't scream out of work today. We didn't have time. We was running. A little stressed for time, and I've got to call him sometime in a little bit because we were at the restaurant. He was trying to get back because I think it was Stephen Hill. He was supposed to be doing a podcast with him last night. So I don't know.
I got to check that out.
Yeah,
I got to check that out. I did not know. Well, hey, Greg, right before you get on here,
all right.
Jeff was saying that his very first thing that he experienced in Northern Maryland, right on the Pennsylvania line, was a tree branch fell and was laying on a deer stand. Him and a friend were out there to cut it up. They got screamed at a couple times. It come in on them. It was so loud that they took off out of there. And then I asked him that somebody had been hunting out of the deer stand and had they ever lost any deer there?
Yeah.
And he said, yeah, a couple times, but nothing like yours where you actually walked up to it, picked it up, made sure it was dead, come back to get it, and it's not there.
Yeah.
You got anything you want to weigh in on that before he moves on?
Well, I mean, here I've had at least 6 in the last, 11, 12 years that we shot, and I'm talking about fold them up, walk to them, maybe they ran just a little bit, or just fold up and be dead. But I'm talking about go to them, bump them with your boot, kick them, reach down, grab the horn, pick their head up, look at their head, turn it side to side, tongue hanging out. They're not breathing nothing. Lay the thing back down, walk out, and be gone out of sight for 10, 15 minutes. And you come back, that deer's like it's just floated away. There's no drag marks, no blood trail, no nothing. That deer be gone. I'm talking about absolutely gone. And the way that we go in there, that's the only way in or out of there with a vehicle or anything. And, there's no way somebody got the deer. But we'd go back and the deer, they'd just be gone. And this is to the point that, like, when we shoot a deer over here where I hunt, you stay with that deer. You don't get out of sight of it. You call and get somebody to come to you and help you get the deer loaded up and leave. You don't leave it, because if you do, dude, odds are it's not going to be there when you come back. We've had that's not counting deer that we've shot. The deer, get out of the edge of the field.
Yeah.
Well, I made a good shot on it. You give it 5-10 minutes, climb down, go out there, and there'd be blood everywhere. There'd be, chunks. I don't mean lung blood, but I'm talking about chunks of lung tissue blowed out on the ground. And there's a pink frothy blood trail that's just like you drug a mop, but it goes into the thicket, and you start following it, and you'd see the blood 20 feet away, a stream that wide.
Yes.
Thinking, okay, he's got to be right here. And you go maybe, 50, 60 yards, and then all of a sudden there's a puddle of blood this big and no deer. There's no trail. It's just like the deer just soaked in the ground and was gone. I've had that happen. Okay, I'm not counting deer like that. I'm not even throwing them in the mix, which we haven't had that many of those. But I'm talking about 6 deer that we walk to. They're laying right here, right there. I can kick it with a boot. It's dead as hell, 100%. I can pick its head up, look at it, whatever. You come back, they're gone. I'm talking about stolen. They just soaked in the dirt and went away because there's no trail, no nothing. And like the Tal Bronco's book that he put our stuff in, that's one of the chapters.
I'm reading that right now.
Okay. Well,
Southern Bigfoot Files. That's a great book. Okay. Everybody should read that.
The one encounter in there that it talks about, that was my dad. Dad shot that deer, and when we got there, the one that's got the pictures, that carcass is thrown back out in the field. That happened from where I'm sitting, about 1.5 miles from right here. And that freaked me out. That freaked me out more than anything, because I'm telling you, dude, they brought that deer back, and it was like they hurled that carcass from the tree line, and you could see where it hit in the dirt and rolled, and like where it come to rest. There was no drag marks, no tracks.
Yeah.
But the dirt was scuffed up where you could see where it impacted the ground, like it rolled, and it stopped. But dude, it was like you grabbed that hide and pulled it. I mean, it was like it stretched out on both ends.
Kind of like you pulled a rabbit apart.
Yes, exactly. But here's the deer, and 100%, it was the right deer, because on the side he shot it on, there was a small bullet hole in one of the rib bones, right through the rib bone, like where it curved around. There was a hole through the rib bone.
Yeah.
And on the other side, there was a section rib bone gone. It was right through the shoulders where he shot it, or right behind the shoulder. And that was creepy. I mean, what got me was the thing brought that back, and it slung it out in the field. It was like, hey, I'm done. Y'all can have what's left. And man, that spooked me. That spooked me pretty bad. I mean, it didn't just take it, but it came back and hurled what was left out to us. Just like I said, it made it like, hey, y'all kiss my tail, I'll throw you back scraps. I got y'all's deer. I mean, that was great.
Yeah. We've had coyotes get a couple and just rip them to shreds, but you can tell it's a coyote.
Exactly.
Yeah.
Yes. Yep.
Well,
Yeah, Jeff, I have a question.
Yeah.
You mentioned that your friend was running a saw. Was it a
Handsaw, just a handsaw.
just hands? Okay, yeah, that's
But-
what I wanted to double check.
but-
Because the noise. Yeah.
But we already had the tractor running. It was sitting there in the field with the lights on. So,
Yeah, just
They-
that alone.
and the world's dimmest flashlight. I will never carry a dim ass flashlight again.
No,
I carry multiple.
I carry at least two Cyclops T-1500s that will light up the damn side of a mountain if I want to.
yep.
now I want everybody in chat, everybody that's going to watch this show, stop and think for a minute. How many times on Facebook or some other show have you heard somebody talk about their encounter? And that's all it was. It was just that right there, that little part right there. They went out into the woods, went to do something. Something screamed at them so loud that it vibrated them. Isn't that what you said, Jeff?
Yep.
You could feel it all throughout your
Yeah,
body.
you can feel it.
And it scared them bad enough to go ahead and get out of the woods, right? How many times
Yeah.
have you heard that? And even that right there, that's one thing.
I've tracked wounded black bears before. I mean, we've been within feet of them and had to put them down. I ain't ever been scared of like that before.
Now, whenever you say just from the do what, Squirrel?
It's a totally different feeling. I mean, if you've hunted bear, you know the difference between a bear and something else that's coming up.
Oh yeah.
But just from the sound, you can tell that whatever it is just the sheer the sheer force of the vocalization. And for those of you that have never heard one of these things in person, when you hear it in person, is completely different than hearing a recording or anything like that. I cannot stress it enough. Just hearing one in person, you know that it is something big.
Yeah.
Well, I'm going to apologize because I'm running late and I'm out on the story. But so this thing come up on y'all and it screamed at y'all. That's what I'm putting?
Yeah. Yeah, it did. It was probably about 100 yards the first time.
Yeah.
And then I thought it was some ass out there messing around on the property. So I started cussing at him. Well, yeah, that didn't go well. And he closed the distance. Whatever it had to have been within, seconds. That thing was probably 40 yards, 40, 50 yards from us. And
wow.
At that point, Josh stopped sawing on the tree limb.
Man, how close do you think the closest it got was? 40 yards?
Yeah, it just kind of stayed there. But we didn't hear it. That was the thing. We didn't hear nothing. I didn't hear, like you said about it being a bulldozer coming through the woods. We didn't hear any of that.
Sometimes you will, sometimes you won't. Then when it screamed, was it just a single, like just a loud scream, or did it ramp up and down? What did the scream sound like?
So it sounded kind of like this, and I'm going to do a terrible rehearsal of it, but
yeah,
it started out as a whoa,
yeah,
and it did it multiple times. Did it 2 or 3 times the first time, and then it came closer. And when it did it the second time, I could hear Josh behind me going, I don't know what that is, but back up.
Yeah.
We got to get out of here. And then I told him to hell with, I said, F you, and I took off running the other way. We had branches flying. I was tripping over stuff, and he come out below me. I got in the tractor. I turned on every damn light I had and hauled ass, and he's running next to me trying to jump on the tractor. I was about to leave his ass.
Man.
Well, I can tell you one thing. A John Deere tractor will go airborne, Greg.
It's all about speed and motivation.
You can ride two wheels around a turn.
Man, you know, I've tried to tell people, and I've told it on here several times, that, you know, I've been through a lot of stuff. I've had a lot of stuff scare me doing, you know, law enforcement stuff like that. I've been in some hairy situations in the woods. But the scariest I've ever been in my life was when that thing was over here in these woods with me. And
the motorcycle?
Yes, sir. I'm telling you,
The motorcycle story.
As I'm standing, now look, dude, I come up off the ground, and I was hiding behind that big pine tree, and I'm leaned out, and I've done jerked my rifle up. I'm leaning around the tree looking, you know, like the tree's here, and I'm peeping. And that thing, y'all, when it screamed, it was like you was stepping out. It reminds me like you see the weatherman on TV, and the wind's blowing, he steps out in it, and it blows him back. That's the way I felt. It felt like when that thing would scream, it was like it was hitting you. And it honest to God, and I know people think this is crazy, but it was so loud that I mean the whole thing was loud. Now don't get me wrong.
Yeah.
About that low, that and y'all, the kind of the mid-range part of that. Look, when it would hit that, I swear my eyes would like vibrate and my vision would blur. It was like he was spinning the knob on binoculars, and you got a clear vision, and then it gets blurry, and then it clears back up right quick. They was part of that scream. It was so loud in the vibration. Not only, well, man, I'm holding this rifle, I'm wanting to hold my ears, but I can't. Not only was it hurting my head, it's so loud, my vision would go fuzzy for a second and then clear back up. That's the most horrible sound I've ever heard in my life.
Yeah, a mutual friend of both mine and Kumbo's, she lives up in Canada. She was out hunting one day and got screamed at by probably a Bigfoot, but it was close range, blew out both of her eardrums.
Really?
Yes.
Yeah.
Now, again, though, just stop and think, y'all. All I'm asking you to do is have an open mind. Now, I mean, you hear these people talking. Do they not sound sincere to you? What animal, what thing in the woods produces a vocalization, just a sound so loud that it vibrates you, or that you instinctively go, I need to get my ass out of here? Greg was hunting with a semi-automatic 30-06.
Yeah.
Now, he knew what it was.
And I had a 57 Magnum right here on the arm, and I wanted to be somewhere else. Then.
Well, Greg, you were in better shape than I was. I had a damn handsaw and a flashlight that I couldn't see 5 feet with. I tell you one thing, though.
That might be, Sherry.
I'm kind of, I don't know if I'm glad I couldn't see it or not. I don't know if I wanted to see the damn thing.
Well, I couldn't. The one that done that to me that night, I couldn't see it. Now I could see what it was doing, because I was in big oaks and poplar, big hardwood timber.
Yeah.
I could see really good, you know, probably 70, 75 feet, guessing maybe 80. And
how dark was it when that happened?
This was before dark. They was probably 20 minutes of shooting light left in the hardwoods.
Yeah.
My buddy Allen was through the thicket in a
Yeah.
field from me. But this thing, like in the hardwoods, and then the hardwoods transition into like big giant pine trees. And then under those big pines, there's a bunch of honeysuckles and vines and all that stuff. This booger couldn't have been over 25 feet into that thicket. And y'all, it was thrashing. It was absolutely annihilating all the underbrush under those big pines.
Yeah.
I watched a dogwood tree, the base of it, way bigger than my head. I mean, it was, big as a big fat coffee can at least or bigger. This tree's sticking up, and I can see like the top 12 or 14 foot of it. But, as I can see that dogwood, when it got down to the thicket where the booger was, I'm watching this dogwood. The top of this tree was going back and forth, and then it'd go round and round, and it would just shake and flop, and then it'd turn loose, and I could hear it like it was stomping the ground, and it's making all this racket, and all of a sudden it'd go to thrashing that. Now, this is a tree. I'm not talking about a sapling. I'm talking about a tree. And this tree is just whipping back and forth. Y'all, I couldn't take my four-wheel drive, full-size Dodge pickup with a chain and jerk that tree and make it do even close to what that thing was doing. I mean, it would be like me at 6'1", 200 pounds out here on a sapling that big with both hands trying to, break it over. But I watched this tree. I mean, a tree this big around jerking like that. And in my head, I'm going, that thing's it's going to tear apart whatever it lays its eyes on. And y'all, I've been around these things a few different times when they would get really, really mad. Like when they bluff charged me, when it was mad about the motorcycle. They're not just mad. It's a different level of anger because what you'll hear is just like a toddler that's got something took away from them. And I know that sounds weird too. But it's like you took something away from a little bitty kid and they get mad and they're mad and I'm mad and I'm mad. And it's just like it just ramps up and ramps up and ramps up. And it's just like they're working a frenzy. And what I heard over there right now, I mean, but right now, y'all, I can still hear that in my head. I can hear that scream. Y'all, my arms are broke out right now talking about it. Because that's as scared as I've ever been in my life was that day. I mean, y'all, that messed me up for a while. I mean, it's hard to explain to people. But I know, like what you're talking about on that tractor, dude, fear is a motivator. And it's a damn good thing because that's when it needs to take hold and you need to be somewhere else. And I have people say, well, I'd have stood there. You was armed, I didn't care if I'd had the damn button of the nuclear code. My ass was getting out of there.
So, Jeff,
Whoop.
where'd Jeff go?
There he is.
Hold on.
Oh.
There you are. You went away for a minute. We can't hear you.
He's muted.
Say something now. Nope.
No.
Tell him down at the bottom where it's the little microphone.
He's got it unmuted.
All right.
Hold on.
His mic's up.
The Men in Black kicked in.
Try it again.
Yeah.
Jeff, go completely out and come back in and see if that fixes it.
Oh, wow. What is the deal, y'all, with computers the last day or so?
It's been
It was
weird.
weird.
Y'all know
Yes.
my theory, but whatever.
Yes.
Mine kept freezing up on me the other day.
Mary,
Yeah.
do you know other experiences in the area that he's talking about?
Yes. In Maryland, there's another researcher. I haven't heard from him for a few years, David Thundercloud. I don't know if, Jeff, if you've ever heard of David Thundercloud.
Doesn't ring a bell.
Okay, yeah, he's out of Maryland also. He's got a YouTube channel, and offhand, I can't remember what it is, but he's at least he used to be an active researcher. Yeah, again, I haven't heard from him in a couple years.
So, hey, Jeff, after the incident with the tree stand happened,
Yeah.
what else happened?
Well, that was the only big thing that ever really happened.
Yeah.
There wasn't a whole lot of other stuff. I mean, once in a while, there'd be times I'd be on the back of the farm and just doing field work and stuff and working late, and I'm thinking, probably should go home. There was just that feeling.
Yeah.
I never heard anything, but there've been times I'd be deer hunting, you'd hear trees fall, or you might see something out of the corner of your eye, or stuff like that. But I've never had anything thrown at me.
Yeah.
Or anything like that. But there have been times I've been feel like I've got something watching me.
Yeah.
Like noticeable to the point where it made you feel uncomfortable. How about smells? You ever catch any of the smells that we always describe?
Never smelled anything. That's the strange thing. I've never smelled anything.
Yeah, you won't all the time.
No, exactly. I've had these things, like I've told people, I've walked by within 6 or 8 feet, walked right by one, that thing huff grunted at me. I never smelled nothing. I've had them come in around my stand, come upwind within 15, 20 yards. You never smell nothing. But now when you do smell it, you'll know it. They won't nobody have to tell you, hey, whatever, because it'll be kind of like the volume on the sound. The smell will be so bad. It's like you can almost taste it. It's like the air's almost got an oily film in the air. Yeah. And it's like you would think that the smell would be like stuck to your clothing. I mean, I don't know. Mary, what can you add anything on that kind of what I'm trying to explain?
It's beyond putrid. It's beyond the smell of death. It's like a mixture between boys' locker room, something dead.
Girls stink too sometimes.
No. It's just a combination of an abattoir and something really dead for multiple days, and out in the hot sun, and boys' locker room, or old pair of tennis shoes, and it's really nasty. And like Greg says, you can almost taste it. It's really bad. It'll make you vomit almost.
Yeah, it's horrible.
Yeah, and there's another smell that I've smelled at one time, where one had come up underneath my pickup truck, and I was standing next to the truck, and it was about the last thing that I wanted to happen, but it crawled up underneath my truck, and I could smell its breath, and it was like a sweet, overpowering flower, really cloying, sweet smell. And Kumbo, both Kumbo and Bubba told me that that was its breath. Yeah, that it was that close.
Mm.
I've heard them say that too, smelling kind of almost like honeysuckles or something.
Yes, yeah.
The only thing I've smelled that was in an area with a lot of structure, and there ain't no doubt in my mind that they were there, but I can't prove it, but it smelled like sulfur and the most strongest urine and sweat and garbage all at the same time. But the urine smell, the ammonia smell, was the strongest thing I've ever smelled. And then a few minutes later, it was gone. I walked over in that area and there was nothing there. So the smell went away.
Oh yeah. Yeah, that was probably the booger special.
Well, everybody, look here. let me show you something. Not that. That's the end of the. There we go. Okay. So this is Harford County, Maryland, right where Jeff lives and where a lot of this stuff took place.
Yeah.
Now I've got it set so that you can see the terrain. You can obviously see the water and everything right here. See the mountainous areas where the fingers roll down through there.
Mhm.
I'm going to zoom in a little bit. This is just a couple miles away from Jeff's property. See where all the creeks, all the tributaries come together?
Yeah.
Right there. Now, we talk about this a lot. If you do field research, you're looking for areas that look like this.
Yep.
With all of these creeks coming together right there, especially where the creeks come down around those fingers like that and run together. Here's some pictures of his property.
Yeah.
Now there's the ridge.
He's got a power line cut away. How many people talk about that?
Okay.
I think I forgot to tell you that.
That's okay.
But there's the ridge in the background.
That's the ridge that it happened on?
No, that's the ridge that runs up to the state park.
I got you.
The first picture you showed off in the left-hand corner was where I actually had the run-in. That's where I was that night in the woods. Go back. Yeah. If you go off to the left, now that last picture you took was like 4 or 5 pictures down, I think, was where it actually happened. Now,
Where it was in the smaller hardwoods there.
in the smaller hardwoods, yeah.
Yeah.
Okay.
That's where it was.
Hold on. We'll get there.
Right there.
Place.
Yeah.
Okay.
Yeah.
Man, those woods right there, I could walk right out here right now and see your picture, and it'd look nearly just like that.
And somewhere right out there is where it was when it was yelling at me. There's the stand.
Yeah.
Now, what time of year was that?
That was right at the beginning of September, like right before bow season started.
Okay. Boy, you had like a triple whammy there.
Yeah.
Why? What do you know about that time of the year that we don't?
Well, that's it could possibly be either mating season or else babies.
Oh, great.
You're not the only one that has said that before.
That's just what I need to hear.
This is a BFRO listing of the encounters in Harford County. And I know you guys probably cannot see this real clear, but there's 5 of them listed here. But the one from July of 94, the second one from the bottom, and the one from September of 93, those are both Class A. The one above it is from September 96. That's a Class A sighting. But those 2 down there, September of 93 and July of 94, those are, how far away did you say they were from you?
I think the one was 84 and the one was 93.
Maybe it is 84. Yeah, it is 84 and 93.
They're both within maybe 5 miles. Maybe
5 miles. Oh, that's Abby getting in Kumbo's truck to go for the tour. Oh, here we go. Back over again. So, my point is this. Whenever someone like Jeff talks about an encounter or an experience that they had, where the majority of the stuff is, now we're going to ask him some more questions, but the majority of the stuff is, I went out in the woods, it was that night, I got screamed at so bad that it scared me and my friend, and we both took off out of there. Then you look at the territory, the land around it. You look at the encounters that have supposedly happened right there in that area. You're weighing in the time of the year. We got someone like Marion that will tell you that, hey, that time of the year is active up in her neck of the woods and everything. To everybody that sees this show, what do you make out of it? What are you thinking? What goes through your head? Is this something that you just rule out because the person didn't actually see a booger? In my opinion, this is something that you take into account, you put it in your toolbox, and you just add this on to more and more stuff as it comes in. That's what I think.
Yeah.
And our woods connect to the state park, too. All those woods run together, and they all go right to the creek. State park's right there.
Spencer, you know as well as I do, we get out looking for these things. We've never definitively seen one. I mean, we've had our suspicions that there's been plenty around, heard plenty of things we can't explain, but we've never seen it. Seen shadows.
You're talking about in years. I mean, think about this. We go to Mark Green's, right? I know that activity happens at Mark Green's. No, for a fact. Go there, see some really weird stuff, see whatever those weird lights were up on the hill, see that shadow thing moving between the trees. We're getting calls from an owl that sounds like it's 500 pounds. Distant vocalizations. Didn't see one. There's been plenty of people that have seen them there. We go to Greg's. All kinds of stuff at Greg. Every time, y'all understand this. Every time somebody has been to Greg's in the past year, there have been quite a few of us that have been to right there where Greg and Abby are sitting at that man cave. We've seen his lands. We've drove around out there and looked at those, and they're definitely boogery looking. But at Greg's man cave, us just spending the night and being outside and talking and goofing off at the back table. Misty's had stuff happen. I've heard stuff over there. Mark Green and Greg and Mark Green's son, is his name Jonathan?
Yeah.
If I messed that up. You know, they've taken pictures of something weird right over there and found that abandoned tent. Greg's had stuff knock on the outside of the house. Misty can attest to stuff coming up to the side of the thing. Al, Greg's friend, has seen stuff there like shadows moving and everything. You don't, heck, the one kid that worked for Greg saw something right there at Greg's man cave. You don't always lay eyes on them, but my point is, everybody in the Bigfoot world, you know, you gravitate towards these shows where people are talking about, hey, this thing stepped out 100 yards away from me, and it was this tall, and they can describe it in perfect detail, and it scared the heck out of you. What Jeff is talking about makes up probably 85, 90% of possible Bigfoot experiences.
And I just remembered another one where you're talking about 500-pound owls. You ever heard of 500-pound blue heron?
No. I wouldn't know a blue herring if I heard it.
Barry knows what I'm talking about.
Oh yeah. Oh yeah.
That had just completely slipped my mind. One morning we were going out to start milking, and I was the first one out there, and I started running the cows around to the end of the freestall barn, and that one picture you'll see where the manure pit is, when you got the power line in the background, I was standing right there, and I heard 3 herons on 3 different sides of me except for the barn side. But no heron is that loud.
Yeah, they can get loud, but and their call is pretty horrendous. But yeah, not that loud.
Well, I'll tell you something else. Me,
Actually, you know what? I did see a mountain lion.
really.
Yep.
I was talking about this. I don't remember who I was talking to. this last day or two, might have been Joe Parker, but anyway, me and Troy Allen were at Coonbo's. I spent a couple years ago now. He came up, we went to Coonbo's, and we got up to his farm, and it sounded like the 500-pound owl had laryngitis or hoarse or something.
Yeah.
It would just whoo, 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 and it wouldn't trail off, and it kept doing it, and we were hearing that say at our 10 o'clock, like at our 2 o'clock, there was one that was like back and forth, and neither one of these things would ever do like a full owl call. We were laughing about it. I said, dude, look, that's not owl. And me and him and Coonbo are all, and there was another guy there. We were all four like, no, that's not a real owl. Well, Troy got hooting back out. And Troy could owl hoot really good. But anyway, he's sitting there and he's doing that. I said, hold on, I want to try something. He's like, what? I said, let's see what they do with this. He's like, what are you going to do? I said, I'm going to see what they do to a hawk whistle. Everybody that's been outside very much, you'll have crows will be, going crazy, and then a hawk will whistle. They'll, not the monotone whistle, but I started doing that, and I done it really good that night. But I've done that like twice, and I kid you not, the one at our 10 o'clock, that thing goes to hawk whistling back at us. Now, this is like 12:30, 1 o'clock in the morning, dark as everything, and it sounds like a hawk whistling back at me. And then Troy could do the owl again, and it would go to owl calling. And then if I done the hawk, it would go, whatever we done, it would mimic it back at us. Well, what out in the woods does that?
Right. That just mimics back to you, right?
Yeah. Yes, they throw rocks. I mean, I
was there when it happened.
Yeah, Misty's look thrown right here. We were all on my back porch here at my cabin, the man cave, and there was a rock come out of the woods. We could hear it clipping the limbs and the leaves, and it went right behind daughter's or Misty's sister's boyfriend. It went right behind him and hit the yard and went bouncing across. And I'm one of the few people that I've been hit by something a Bigfoot through, because I was in a tree stand and something that came by me, and I'm sitting there just looking, and something came by my head and went out in the field, and I seen it bounce, and I thought, well, I'm just kind of puzzled, like trying to figure out what happened. And then it wasn't long, something hit me right here on the back of the neck. It hit me, and the thing went straight up in the air over my head. And when it came back down, it landed on my rifle in my lap, and it was a hickory nut. But the thing actually hit me with it. I mean, it didn't hurt me, but it bounced off like the part of my collar and my neck. Well, look, the tree I was in, that wasn't a hickory tree. There was no.
Did you holler?
Huh?
Did you holler?
No, I'm just like, look down, like, I seemed like I threw my hand back, but I had my rifle laying across my lap, and that thing went up in the air and it came back down and landed in my lap.
Yeah.
And I thought, that's a hickory nut. And I'm like, I start looking around like, something through that, because the tree I'm in, it ain't a hickory tree. There wasn't but about 5 or 6 little trees there that was even trees, because they had clear cut. There wasn't a single one of those trees a hickory tree.
Yeah. Did it continue?
Oh, yeah. Yeah, it continued. It kept throwing stuff till I finally wound up leaving. But, it didn't hit me out with anything else. But I've had all kinds of stuff. I've been in these shooting blinds, these shooting houses, we call them. They go throwing stuff in the shooting house. It'll be hitting the wall. It ain't hitting stuff all on top. It'll be hitting the sidewall, and you'll hear it just, you'll hear it pop when it hits it, and it'll be hitting the wall.
Yeah.
There's an area right there at your shooting houses. The next time we come up, I'm walking that area. I'm hoping Rebecca's with me.
Spencer, what we're going to do, I'm going to take some rebar, and I'm going to heat it, and I'm going to make like a big giant fish hook, and we're going to put it down Misty's shirt, and we're going to have the cable on my winch. And we're just going to let her out. That way, when they snatch her, we'll just throw the Jeep in gear and hit the
We're gonna take
Something
the
good
shock
back there,
collar.
I'm telling you.
We're gonna take the shock collar off of JR that she has strapped to him and put it on her and make her give us the remote, and she can only go a certain distance.
Yeah.
Because
No,
Misty will flat out walk off on you. She will walk off in the middle of the woods where she knows boogers are.
Yeah, she's a wanderer.
I get
But
curious.
but no, Joe, Jeff, if you've never heard me talk about it, there's an area over here where I hunt. I can't go in there. I mean, I like if I'm in there hunting, I can't. It's like I can't go off in there. I mean, it absolutely just the creeps comes over you and just like And what's so weird is first time Misty and them, and I hadn't told them where this was. I mean, they'd heard me talk about the place. They didn't have a clue where it was. We got over there and we were just riding around. Got over in that field. The crazy thing was Misty and Rebecca Green both.
Yep, both of them.
Like that, there's something not right there. There's something that ain't a good place. Yeah, you're exactly right.
You can just tell driving in. You knew, you just got a feeling from that spot that there was something back in that area, and you're not supposed to go back in there.
Uh-huh.
It had a weird feel, a weird look to it, and there was something there while we was in there. It just wasn't showing itself. But me and Rebecca both at the same time felt it, and we kind of got a habit of walking off. She's like me; she'll stray off. So we got to stay together when we do stuff like that. But that's a spot that I'm going to check out when we get a chance.
Mary, have you ever been to? You know the area around Holtwood, don't you?
Around where?
Holtwood, like where Peach Bottom, where the power plant is.
No. See, I'm from Western Pennsylvania, near Ohio.
So it's like right there around Lancaster, York, down along the river, and there's a we do a lot of do a lot of night fishing down there when I get time with my one buddy that's got a really good boat to go up in the channels, and we get up by the spillway at Holtwood at the plant, and we've had rocks thrown out in there at night.
Yeah. Oh yeah.
We've had a ton of rocks, and it's only ever when you go at night. It doesn't seem like it happens any other time, but
well, they're hunting. And you're interrupting them. Now, how far are you from the PA state line?
Like 5 minutes.
Oh, okay. Well, that's good. Yeah, because we're planning, we don't have any dates set yet or anything, but we are planning a camp out at Michaud State Park.
Where's that at?
That's right along the Maryland PA state line. It's more towards Gettysburg.
Okay.
Out there.
Yeah, I'm only like an hour or so from there.
Okay.
Only like a couple, maybe 2 hours or less from Gettysburg.
Okay. It's apparently a pretty active area, and I really want to get in there and haven't had the chance yet.
I got a really good ghost story from a guy that delivers haze for us from Gettysburg.
Yeah, I've done the ghost tours there.
Yeah, I know what she's going to say. She's fixing to dump how many ghosts have you seen on you here in just a second? What?
Oh, I got all kinds of questions now.
Well, how many?
I think I've seen a couple, but I'm wondering if some of them were imported in that hay from the battlefield that they brought up. Because they bail the battlefield.
Wow.
Yeah.
Yeah, there's been Bigfoot seen there also.
Yeah, I've read about that, but mostly ghosts.
Yeah, a lot of ghosts. Yes.
I can see the wheels rolling in Misty's head right now. She's like, what would it cost to send me a square bell?
Hey, Jeff.
Shipping's gonna kill you, Greg.
Hey, Jeff. How many ghosts have you seen? Have you ever clearly saw what you thought was a ghost?
I saw one time, but it wasn't like, it was a pretty good distance away. there have been times I've felt stuff where I felt like, old family members were there and those kind of things. My great-grandfather actually died in the milking barn scrubbing the milk tank when he was like in his 80s or whatever.
Wow.
I remember.
So you felt stuff before, though.
Yeah.
I mean, have you ever seen, okay, look here. Have you ever had a near-death experience? Have you ever seen a UFO? Have you ever gotten struck by lightning?
Well, I was in a barn when lightning hit it.
Did you feel it?
A little bit. The cows sure as hell felt it because they all jumped when it hit the damn lightning rods. I've been hit by an electric fencer quite a few times too.
That ain't quite the same thing, but we're getting there.
I can feel the electricity, I can feel it. And
would you consider yourself empathic or sensitive?
I almost drowned once in Deer Creek by the park, so I got sucked under a rock.
Nearly drowned?
Yep.
In water. Moving water, negative ions.
In one of the worst places on the creek that people have died in. And of course, my dumb ass thought, I'll get across there. It wouldn't be a big deal. Well, it didn't go too well, but I managed to free myself.
Wow.
Look, something you said at the beginning of the show about your grandfather referencing that they thought they had found possible tracks a while ago. So he was talking about Bigfoot?
Yeah.
What did he say exactly? Can you tell us?
Well, he told me that, it was so far back that none of them had nobody had camera phones or anything. So he said that a person couldn't have duplicated those strides. Just the spacing of the tracks.
Where were the tracks at? Where did he find them at? Was it on the family property?
Yeah, if you're right on the edge of it, heading on to my cousin's, that picture of the ridge where the power line cut goes, that left-hand side, that big block of woods right there, that was where they found it, if I remember correctly.
Well, now y'all still got this property where you had your encounter and stuff?
Yeah, we still own everything that belongs to my side of the family. Yeah, we still have it all. We also rent some ground from some of the neighbors, and we've been renting that same stuff for years, and that's where a lot of crazy shit happens too.
What kind of stuff?
We're connected to each other. Like, you feel like you don't belong there, or it's time to go.
Wow.
How about missing livestock or feed?
Never any missing feed. No missing livestock that I could ever say was something along the lines of that. Nothing where it just up and disappeared. Even our dead cows that we bury out back in the manure in the composting, none of it's ever disappeared. Once in a while, a coyote will drag one out and tear it up some, or actually raccoons will get into them. We set up a trail camera one time just to see what was coming into the carcass pile.
Yeah.
There's about 20 raccoons on a dead cow.
Yeah.
That's insane.
Have you heard of any other cryptid in the area?
No.
I trimmed.
Have you ever heard of anything else besides that?
Down in your area, no. Only Bigfoot. That's about the only thing that I've heard of, around your area. And just, into Pennsylvania. I don't think Dogman I haven't heard any Dogman reports from around there.
Now, what do you know about Western Maryland? Because I'm actually going up there in a bit to do some backpack hunting and fishing during turkey season. We're going in April.
Okay.
I know a lot of Western Maryland's had activity as far as Bigfoot.
Yeah. Yeah, I think that's where Dave Thundercloud, I think that's where he goes.
Hey, April is another active time. Just so you're aware.
Yeah. Well, from February.
When the giant blue herons were yelling at me.
I think that's when babies were being born. That's just my opinion, but that's just from being on a farm and knowing, when your chicks, your goats, your cows, all that, everything's being born.
September and October. Hey, just so everybody knows, so everybody that's gonna watch this, everybody that's in chat, again, Misty, did you already have our email address up there? Maybe I missed it. Pretty please, if you would. There you go. That's the email address. Reach out to us if you have anything like this. I would like to talk to you, even if it's something like this, where it's not, oh, I didn't see anything, I just had some really weird shit happen.
Yeah.
Please email us.
I wanted to tell you something, Greg. Your motorcycle story, when you were describing that, the way it made that noise, it hit me like a ton of bricks.
Yeah. Dude, I'm not kidding.
The motorcycle
That's the
story.
reason I came on here. That was why I contacted Spencer.
Damn, he came on here for Greg. There's
Well,
I tell you, I'm everybody's talent agent. All I do is handle emails for Kumbo and Greg and Misty.
What? Yeah, that's it. Karma's biting him. You shouldn't have changed it. But man, here's the deal. That's one of the stories that if I let myself go dive off in that story real hard and let it take over my mind, think about it, dude, it messes me up. I mean, it just like a while ago, I about got too deep into the story a while ago. Oh, like I said, man, I've been through a lot of stuff in my life. I've been through some hairy situations, and that probably took the icing on the cake, anything that I've ever had happen. And people's like, yeah, but you didn't see it, and you didn't this, you didn't that. It didn't matter. No, what I heard, I've never heard anything that mad in my life. Nothing I've ever seen, ever heard. Nothing could be to that point of anger, pure anger. It was going to annihilate anything there. And I've had these things several times. They didn't do it all the time, but it was like,
hey, John.
It was like, there's old John. Look at. But anyway, it was like he was trying to put out a fire with gasoline. I'm gonna put this fire out by dumping buckets of gasoline, and it just got worse and worse, and just absolute beyond furious. It was just no rhyme or reason. It's like instead of it calming down, it's just working itself in this frenzy. And that was my biggest fear, was this thing's gonna, because I figured out pretty quick, it's not screaming at me. But when this thing, because when they'd always leave, 95% of the time they would leave and go toward the river. Well, the thing this day, the river's behind me and it's in front of me. And if this thing goes to leave,
shut up.
It's gonna pop out in this opening, and I'm gonna be this big sore thumb up there, and it's gonna mash me. I'm gonna be the first thing out of place, and it's fixing to take that anger out on me, dude. I'm not kidding you. I was in a full-blown panic because I didn't know what to do or how to act.
You're on time.
But that was, and it for a long time. I mean, I still have, it bothers me sometimes to tell it, because if I really think about it, dude, it absolutely gets all over me.
Yeah.
I'm gonna tell y'all something seriously, and Greg probably don't want me to say this, but I'm gonna say it anyway. If you see Greg tell this stuff in person at the location, because we were there at like the gate where he talks about where they came back to the gate and something huffed at him right there. and they were all locked and loaded, ready to go. Plus, we've seen the location. Misty and I wanted to camp out where the abandoned tent was and everything. And when Greg said, "No, you best don't," he was dead set. But Greg actually suffers from PTSD even nowadays. You can, if you get him in person down there at those locations, that trauma is very real. It left a mark. Stuff like that. You cannot fake that kind of sincerity, that kind of emotion. I'm just telling you. And if you go and see these places with some of these people and they actually walk you through it, you get the feeling real quick. You get the understanding. Hey, this is not
signs the whole way in.
Yeah,
we did. We did see some. In fact, Misty was fucking annoying because every 5 minutes she would go, oh, and Greg would slam the brakes and we would stop. And she's like, "There's more. There's more sign."
Oh, it was like, I mean, honestly, down that road, I don't go out looking for that type of stuff.
It didn't scare me, but he does handle that stuff kind of rough.
You'll have to take a trip up there, Mary. I'm telling you, it's an interesting place. I've had a lot of weird stuff happen in a lot of different places, and I had been so scared before when we've been out doing this. I didn't know it was physically possible for your knees to actually knock together. Yeah, it happens. Like, it really happens. But at Greg's, it's probably one of the scariest experiences I had ever had. And that was terrifying, knowing that I could be in the house and you're still not safe. I mean, it's...
House, do you know exactly what he's talking about?
I'm trying to think about, I mean, most of my stuff was by the river. I don't know which one he's talking about.
Me neither. Maybe the time where they were throwing the log and yelling back and forth and everything, because that was right.
Are you talking about the one where I heard them talking? What and y'all, what I heard that day?
Dale.
Hey, Dale.
Hey, Dale.
Brother Dale. But
Dale.
that spooked me bad too when I heard them talking, y'all. And that was the craziest something. It was absolutely
the portal.
What are you talking about?
She's got a portal back there.
Oh, Misty's portal.
What is that?
It does look like a red portal behind her.
She's in the red light district.
Oh, walk towards the light.
At least Area 51.
When it caught you in between the water and it.
That's probably, well, that right there, the main one, it caught between my truck and where I was at, the one that was screaming at the motorcycle. See, that was the bad part. The only way I had to get back to my truck, I had to go like the road going out was at my 12 o'clock. This thing was at my 1 o'clock. So it's like the road's here and it's there. And where it's screaming and annihilating the timber, I ain't got no way out. I mean, I need to be back, like over here at my, say, 8 o'clock. But I've got to go out this way and circle around. Y'all, that I've had these things before, get between. Yeah, Scott. Oh my goodness.
Next question.
They done derailed. That's hilarious.
Sorry.
They derailed me. But anyway, that was bad. I mean, because and y'all, that's why I try to tell people what kind of guy that Alan is. That he didn't let me go there. He knew where I was from where he was, about 200 or 250 yards through that thicket. And he knew that scream was right where I was supposed to be. And he got down, y'all. He didn't stay in that stand. He didn't stay there and leave me where I was at by myself. He climbed out of the tree stand as quick as he could and started moving across. And he had to go over and around and come over to get to me, make this big horseshoe.
I told you that when you're out doing this, you really know who your friends are.
Amen. Because
he's definitely a good friend. I can tell you that.
Yeah.
that's a guy hug moment right there. Whenever your brother is your brother's coming over there where you are because he knows you're in shit.
Yeah.
You're
Well,
glad to see them.
like I said,
Most
dude,
of y'all-
I've been going in there to get him because I need, well, like the time, you know, that one come up when I made peace with him by accident. I knew someone right because he wasn't at the truck. And I got telling his buddy, I said, look, come on. He's like, what do you mean? I said, look, we got to go in there and get him. Oh, he'd be out. I said, no. He should have beat us back to the truck. We've got to go get him. Oh, I'm sure this is probably just deer to field. I said, no, we got to go get him. He's like, well, I'm sure he's out. And I said, no, he ain't. No, let's go. And we was fixing to go in there and get him. And sure enough, that was the problem, was the booger that had him treed in there that evening. And, but yeah, you got to trust who you go to the woods with. I mean, that's.
Let me tell you what happened to me. Our first outing with our group, like there's several of us in the group and it's all family. Well, I got locked out of my own truck when we got surrounded.
That's rough. That's rough. Getting locked out of your own truck.
And my oldest daughter and all of them that Donna, every one of them that could pile in there. Me and Sherry took off walking down the road and split sides trying to see what was going on. They done jumped in the truck and locked the doors.
Wow.
Wouldn't let you in your own truck. This is why you
we
always
weren't
keep
trying to get in the truck. We was just trying to see what was going on. But if we'd have wanted to get in there, no, we was screwed. we wasn't getting they locked us out.
Jeff, if y'all never, I mean, don't get me wrong. Look, the communication on these things, I've only heard stuff very few times, but that one time I heard it really good. You had never heard any like voices, mumbling, anything you couldn't explain?
Yeah. Now the first interview that we went and talked to this girl, I kept telling Sherry and I'm like, are you guys hearing that? I said, it sounds like people talking. This was so thick. Like it's way thicker than anything I've ever hunted. And I've hunted in some bad spots and you could hear that there was water, but this was people, what sounded like people talking, like almost so faintly. It was like a mumble, but you couldn't make out what they were saying. And I was like, is there people down there fishing? She said, there's no way nobody could get down there to fish. So I don't know what it was, but we definitely could hear mumbling down there.
Yeah.
Any of you guys ever heard of Green Mountain in West Virginia?
Yeah.
Yeah, well, we were turkey hunting in there in the Monongahela a couple years ago, right on the border of Randolph and Tucker. Hammock camping. And man, there were some creepy feelings in that place.
The Monongahela is just creepy, period.
Oh, God.
That's a creepy area. I've been there a bunch.
Rush's Mountains, they run bear hounds in West Virginia. They breed plots.
Yep.
And they hate going in the Monongahela. They don't even hunt it. And we were in there for a couple days. We saw one turkey, that was terrible. We didn't catch any fish. And the one day we were out there, I think it was the second day we were there, we left Josh out there fishing, and we were all carrying pistols. And he comes back to camp a few minutes later after we had gotten back, and he's got his pistol in one hand and his fishing rod in the other, and he's looking down the path. He's expecting us to be out there messing with him. Something was throwing rocks at him while he was fishing.
A lot of reports about fishermen having rocks thrown at them. Sticks, rocks.
There's a ton.
I mean, I've had it happen in a boat. He had it happen there. And there's probably been other times it's happened to me and I just haven't thought about it.
There's a meet and greet in April at LBL. You can come.
We've had them thrown at us in a place that we go and research down on the lake, and there's no trees anywhere around. And we would be getting calls, and then you would hear rocks coming by and hitting the water just right in front of us. You couldn't never tell where they were coming from, but every time they would just land right in the water. Because we thought at first it was fish jumping.
What? Hey, Mary,
Yeah.
they behave different everywhere, like
Yeah.
all different areas. I mean, they're definitely different in LBL versus Daniel Boone versus where they are here in southwestern Virginia. Do
And
they
Oklahoma.
throw rocks up there where you are?
Oh yeah, yeah. I've had rocks thrown at me and tree limbs thrown at me, and one rock happened to hit me, but I think it was a ricochet. It wasn't on purpose. But I hollered, and he stopped throwing.
What
That's
about
why I asked you, Greg, if you hollered, because if you holler, like you're hurt, they know that they did something wrong, and it's they'll stop. Most of the time. Who knows?
Yeah.
Not guaranteed.
Yeah, Dale's right. I had the tractor parked in the safe way out.
Yeah, it's a good thing for you.
Oh, I wanted to answer Abby's question. Abby asked me what the name of my dog was.
Yeah.
It's Sinead. Like,
Sinead.
yeah, like the singer. She's a border collie.
I got a lab and a.
I like your dog. I don't like the singer.
I got shit eaters.
You got what? You got what? You got
Shit
chiggers?
eaters. I ain't even telling them stories.
Hey,
Well,
my wife, that's the only kind
Old mixed breed nuts.
hey, Misty, that's the only kind of dog my wife could kill. She'd climb up the tree and starve it to death.
do that's a tactic to draw your attention to a certain direction.
Sometimes.
Yeah, man.
Yeah. Yeah, the
Every
one
time
that's
I think about something like that, I think about the Jurassic Park with the Velociraptor.
Yeah.
That's very similar. That's
yeah.
very similar. While you're looking over here, and then there's one coming up behind you, and he's like, "Oh, clever girl."
Yeah. You can't turn fast enough to shoot both of them.
Even if you could shoot them,
Okay, thank you for asking, you guys.
Yeah.
She's doing good though.
Yeah, she's
Layla's
feeling a lot
doing good.
better today. Yes.
Okay.
So times 57.
Wow.
Well, y'all, we were on last night for a couple hours. We've been an hour and a half today. Jeff, thanks for sharing everything.
Yep.
Mary, thank you for weighing in on all the stuff since it deals with your area, ma'am.
Yes.
And
Hold on now. Before we go, I got to ask Mary. We were talking earlier about when he was asking if Jeff had seen any UFOs or any of that. What about you? Like,
I forgot about UFOs. Damn it.
we asked Mary earlier when she was the only one when we were interviewing.
well, I wasn't here. I was late too. I felt sorry for you and wanted to come help you. So I missed that. Sorry.
I did see one once, actually.
Yes, I have seen a UFO. I haven't seen a ghost, but I have experienced ghostly activity. And
Wow.
but yeah, yeah. There are.
You've seen one?
Pardon me.
No, Jeff. I think. Did you say you seen one?
I've seen a UFO, yeah.
Well,
It looked like a star. It was sitting still. And then it rose about, who knows how far up it moved in about seconds.
Yeah.
It was sitting still and it just took off.
Yeah, I've got some video and pictures of some weird shit like that here at the house that I've sent to Spencer and them. And you think it's a star, but no, not when you zoom in and you look at this. It's really crazy looking. Like that's not a star. I don't know what it is, but it's not a star.
Yeah.
Yeah.
Yeah, I got a report of one just from last weekend up in the Allegheny National Forest in Pennsylvania. A friend of mine saw a green UFO flying across the sky.
A green one?
It was a green one, and apparently there were reports from Michigan, Ohio, and into Pennsylvania.
Where did this person see it at?
Near the Allegheny National Forest.
Oh,
Right
That's
on
in
the
northern,
edge. Yeah.
Yeah, northern PA.
Okay.
It's also a very active area with Bigfoot also.
Yeah. Well,
I mean, Pennsylvania is one of the top states for Bigfoot UFO sighting interactions.
Yeah.
Like you go to other states and people see UFOs and then people have Bigfoot encounters. But in Pennsylvania, there was the whole thing. What was it in the late 70s, early 80s?
70s.
It was like 6 months of constant reports of seeing UFOs and Bigfoots in the same area at the same time.
Yep.
Multiple people. It was a ton.
Yeah, all along the Chestnut Ridge, which is it ends near you, Jeff.
And
part of it.
Where does it end? Was that Garrett or? It end closer to me.
Yeah, it runs from Johnstown, Pennsylvania, which is about mid-state, down through into Fayette County, Pennsylvania, but it would be a bit north of you, and probably part of it branches out to your area also.
Hey, Mary, wasn't Chestnut Ridge? I'm pretty sure I'm right on this. Have you ever seen the movie? Well, the documentary kind of movie called Devil on the Mountain or Mountain Devil.
Yes, Mountain Devil.
And I forget the guy's name. They made part 1 and part 2.
Yeah,
but wasn't that right?
Yeah, that's Small Town Monsters. That channel.
Wasn't that right there on Chestnut Ridge?
Yeah, there's. He also did another movie documentary called Invasion on Chestnut Ridge or Invasion of Chestnut Ridge.
Is that the UFO one?
That one is more Bigfoot. And I think it's also UFOs also.
The Mountain Devil one is definitely, I forget that guy's name. That was actually a famous story.
Yeah, Jan Clement.
Yep. That's exactly it.
Yeah.
See, I knew I had you on here for a reason. Thank you. All right, y'all. Anyway, if anybody has any other questions, put them in all caps real quick.
When did you say you're going to be up by Gettysburg?
Do what?
You said you're going to be camping up near Gettysburg soon?
At Michaud State Forest. Sometime this summer.
Is that open to the public? Is that open to everybody?
Yeah, there's a bunch of campgrounds there, along with motorized dispersed campsites also.
I might be interested in coming to that.
Yeah, well, I'll let you know. Get in touch with me.
All right. How do I get in touch with you? I guess we can talk after we get off here.
Yeah.
Yeah, stay on when we close out.
Yes, just stay on a minute. Do you have something about that on your?
Not yet, because I haven't chosen a date yet, Spence.
I was going to say, are you gonna put it on your Facebook page?
Yes.
Okay.
Yeah.
I knew what you was getting at.
Definitely. All of our campouts, we list them on the Pennsylvania Bigfoot Project group, and that's on Facebook.
And if y'all have anything involving the Maryland, Pennsylvania, Eastern Ohio area, contact Mary. Get with Mary. She knows a lot of people. Yep. She will put you in touch with someone in that area, or at least document whatever you have to say to her about anything going on in that area. And Mary will actually be at the meet and greet with us, with all
Yes.
of us. I know, right?
Yes, and look, tell them too. Look, go to her Facebook page. They've got the best Bigfoot Facebook page on Facebook.
Hey, we have a Facebook page on Facebook.
Yeah, but it's
Yeah,
not.
yeah, but ours is just 2 notches above sucking.
But we have a
Come in
Facebook
the studio to get back on it.
Mary is really serious, and like our Facebook page is kind of like our show is. Like we
not
try.
serious.
Misty does the post about let's keep this all about Bigfoot, and then Joe
And
Parker.
then we got Joe
Joe
Parker
Parker.
posting about Pizza Hut. So go figure.
Parker is posting about Pizza Hut and Dooley sausage and everything else. It's great though, y'all. Come join us.
Yes.
Yeah. Oh yeah, yins are all
You-
welcome.
You do. You have a good group. I enjoy it.
Thank
Hey,
you.
Oh,
You're
thank
not
you,
as
Mary.
big as mine, though.
No,
That's right.
we're not. Oh, look at that.
We
Look
try
at
to
that.
be serious, but we try to have fun at the same time. But we really can be serious when we need to be. But it's
We can be serious about certain things. Mary, calm down. It's our show, Mary. Calm down.
I just wanted to say, you guys make me feel like family already.
Man, we all
I
are.
wasn't nervous at all coming into this because I was like, these are my people right here.
There you go.
Yes, sir.
Hey,
That's what we wanted. We've talked about this a lot. Me and Spencer and Misty, and even like when Roger's on with us, us backstage talking.
Yeah.
That's what we want people to feel. Look, I'm not on here. I'm not over enunciating my words to sound proper. Shit, I'm just a normal redneck. I mean, if y'all can understand me good, if not, watch a bunch of damn Dukes of Hazzard reruns, and then y'all learn how to talk like me. But we're just us. I mean, we're just people. I mean, you take like Misty. Misty works around the house, fixes everything she can. She turns, she's turned scrap wood into some type of masterpiece. Spencer's a carpenter.
hold
And,
blocked on Facebook where? What are you talking about?
But then,
Only people I've ever blocked is on the Beast page. And if I did, it's because you had it coming.
But like I said, Misty, she grows gardens. She does work around her house.
Yeah.
I'm doing something. Spencer's a carpenter and he remodels houses and does that. I fix broke air conditioners and police. We're just normal. Well, normal's a big range for a word, but we still fall in that category. We're just normal people.
And I raised dairy cows, so.
Dude, I grew up on a farm. I mean, my
Same here. Same here. Grew up on a farm.
yeah.
Oh, let me unmute Spencer.
Stop.
Sorry.
Whenever Mary is not bashing our Facebook channel, she's like, "Yeah, I grew up on a farm too."
Yeah, but dude, that's what we want. We want people to be, is because I tell people I feel like if I ever go back and look at me, I'm like, I do speak 100% cornbread, but I feel like I feel like they need subtitles to know what I'm talking about. And like that, I don't super enunciate words. I got it. I've got the red Billy slang, and thank God most of y'all's learned how to interpret it. But we want to come across to people that we're people. We're just like y'all. We've been through this stuff. Like y'all have been encountered.
Bullshit.
It just, we want people to feel comfortable with us, and that's what we're not having a super professional show because look, those shows are a dime a dozen. We take Bigfoot totally serious, but all this other aspects of our lives, y'all.
That's right.
The best part to me is I want somebody watching this to get a chuckle, to get a laugh. I want to see y'all laughing. We want people because look, there's too many people look down on us about this. We want people to uplift each other. There's too much arguing. There's too much turmoil. The hell with
got off of Facebook. I got tired of everybody's shit.
Mark Green is always saying It's about fellowship, support each other, love each other, pray for each other. Y'all, we're just normal people. We're just trying to have a Bigfoot show where normal people can come on and talk about their real experiences and everything. And if you don't like the way we conduct it, that's okay. But we're trying to make people feel comfortable. And I'm telling you, if you got something that you want to talk about and you want to get it out there, please, there's the email. You can talk to Mary too. She's got a great channel. You can hit her up on Facebook. She's got a YouTube channel too that she never does anything with. But you get on us about the Facebook thing.
I'm gonna tell you something. Her Facebook page.
Her Facebook page is awesome.
Her moderators strike like lightning. You let somebody get on there and try to bully somebody, ridicule somebody, you better see it as soon as they hit the send key, because it ain't gonna be up long enough for about one person to read it, and it's done.
Well, you got to make a safe place for people to come and talk. You can't judge people. Everybody's got their own experiences, and they're all different. Just because it may not be what happened to you doesn't mean it wasn't real. You got to listen to what people say. And that's one thing we done going into this. We said, we're going to be ourselves. You're going to like us or you're not. If you don't want to watch us, that's fine. Keep scrolling, go to another channel. We're not going to change who we are for somebody else. I am talking. Can you not see that?
I was going to compliment our moderators because the other night, I don't know which show it was. It wasn't last night. It was the show before last or the show before that. But our moderators took out a guy so quick that I didn't even see the comment. I had to go back and look at it.
Yeah, that's impressive.
For y'all, thank you very much for being on somebody in the chat. I don't mind someone having a different opinion.
That's fine.
But if
don't need trouble, that's a bunch of horse shit.
If you get asshole level, if you're rude and just calling somebody out for no reason, if you're that much of a jerk face, our moderators will take you out. So hey, thank you for doing that, y'all.
Everyone, good job, all the way around. And we all have to thank our moderators, all the way around for your group and mine and Beast. All great groups.
None of us could do this on our own. We
have a lot of our moderators are they do several channels. I mean, not just ours, but they moderate for a lot of people, and they put a lot of time into doing this just for free, just to help us out. And y'all, we do greatly appreciate it.
Yes.
Speaking of which, we got to get Diane on here to talk about her stuff. And I've been working on Katie G for a while to get her on here. Anyway, Katie, call you out publicly, Katie. You got to come on and talk about stuff. But if you don't want to, you don't have to.
Some of y'all if y'all are not comfortable coming on a show with us, it's being aired like this, and everybody's gonna say, I got that. But I will ask you this. Would you come on a private, non-recorded, just to talk? The only people would see it would be like me and Spencer and Misty. Just talk to us. Just I'm telling you, I know that if you've had these experiences and you've got nobody to talk to, really, that you can trust, you talking about make you feel better. Talk to us. Just tell us what you had happen. Just like, we ain't gonna judge you. But I promise you, I've dealt with this stuff for a long time, and stuff that I held in. That was the best thing I could do, was get somebody that I could talk to that knew a little bit about what I was going through.
Yeah.
And absolutely, that helped me more than anything. But
if you were ever worried about coming on a Bigfoot channel to talk about your stuff, this is not that channel. You should come on here.
I knew this was going to be the place.
Yes.
We appreciate you coming on.
Yes, sir.
Yes. Thank you, Jeff. Thank you, Jeff. We appreciate it.
And I want to say, if anybody out there listening, if y'all got some stories about some black-eyed kids or something crazy like that, just the email. I want to talk about it.
Black eyed kids, no, the line's drawn. They keep that shit wherever that's at.
If you
They can
want,
leave Dog Man somewhere else too. I don't need to be dealing with that shit.
Hey,
Yeah.
I'm all about some dogman stories.
if you want to talk about ghosts or Dog Man or Black Eyed Kids or any of that weird stuff, Slender Man or anything like that, email us and I would be happy to forward it to Squirrel.
Yeah. We'll talk about it. I'm gonna be the one that's severely uncomfortable when we do. I mean, I'll hang in there. I ain't gonna abandon you, but woo, I probably ain't gonna be the dude going down the road with you the deep dark night to go see what the bump was. No.
You and I can stay at the campfire together, Greg.
Yeah.
If y'all want to come on,
I'll grab Mary and
share,
Rebecca and Sherry.
anything about Bigfoot or barbecue recipes or anything like that, you come on. Greg and I will get on there and talk with you. You gonna talk about the weird stuff? I'll forward it to Squirrel.
Just make a barbecue podcast. That's all y'all two talk about.
We can do a barbecue podcast.
I would do a barbecue podcast, but that's gonna get old real quick. Anyway, all right, everybody. Thank you very much for joining us, Jeff. Thank you. We appreciate it greatly, brother. Mary, thank you so much again. As always, we will see you at the meet and greet. Jeff, make it to the meet and greet if you can. For anybody else,
I don't know if that time frame's going to work for me. That's a bit of a haul, but
that's more than a bit of a haul. That's more than a bit of all. Mary, how long does it take for you to get to LBO?
To LBO, it's about 9.5, 10 hours.
How the hell do you do that?
yeah, how the hell do you do that? You have a helicopter somewhere part way?
No, you do it. I've driven out to Oklahoma, twice so far for hey, if it involves Bigfoot, and friends, oh, you bet I'm going to be there.
Hey, she took Coonbo 101 driving school.
She
More
must
than
have.
I've heard about him, I can understand that.
She's already up there. She's already up there north of where the mountains get really rough, and she cuts across west by God. I have to go down and around.
My problem is with being here at the farm, I never know what my schedule looks like, so it gets a little crazy sometimes.
Yeah. I'm happily retired, so I do it.
That's right. Billy Schilling
I
is
can
going.
do it. If not, if you guys ever do anything closer to this way, I try to slip over.
Yeah.
Scott, it is April 5th and 6th, right? Is that right? Friday and Saturday?
It's 6,
5 to
7.
5th and 6th.
I can't remember if I'm going turkey hunt. Not that. A couple weeks after that, so that'll take up most of my off time.
Yeah, it'll be Friday night, or Friday night, Saturday night, and then leave Sunday.
Yeah.
Thank you, Diane.
And just so everybody knows, I have to say this because there's too many people coming now, and a lot of people are going to be coming early and everything. I have to say that, y'all, the private campground that we're renting, some of us are going to get there the day before to set up and everything for the meet and greet for everybody. That is not for just the public, but there are a ton of campgrounds around there that you can stay in. But the actual private campground that we're renting, the dates for the actual meet and greet are the 5th and 6th. But some of us might be there a day before. That's so we can set up. We got to get a lot of stuff like organized and everything. But there are a ton of campgrounds around there. Like Red's Holler is right down the road. There's a bunch of them. But if you stay there, you have to rent a pass or whatever to stay there. The meet and greet itself, if you're coming to the meet and greet, if you're already on there, because we can only have a handful over 100 people, and right now we're already beyond that. That's free if you're actually staying at the meet and greet at the private campground with us. But the dates for that are, isn't it the 5th and 6th, y'all? It's Friday night and Saturday night, and then we have to leave.
Yeah, Friday the 5th, Saturday the 6th of April.
Yeah, that's free. Anyway, right, let's get off here.
How far are you from? You're in Tennessee, aren't you?
Yeah.
How far are you from Lynchburg?
Lord, I don't know.
Lynchburg, Tennessee.
Like where the distillery is.
Oh, that's where Roger lives. He's
Yeah,
not. That's
Is
only
he?
Lynchburg's only about 2 hours from where I'm at.
yeah. I was gonna say,
That's probably
We're-
at least 2 hours for me then.
yeah.
I went pig hunting there back in 2010, right outside of Lynchburg. I can't remember what town it was.
Huh. See,
Do
that's
you,
where.
do you know where Gatlinburg is?
Yeah.
Okay, well, I'm like 30 minutes outside of Gatlinburg.
Okay.
Okay.
My friend went there for a honeymoon and had a bear try to break into the cabin.
Yeah, they're everywhere up here.
How'd you guys do it here?
Patrick.
Roger
Hey,
is
brother.
in
He's in
middle
Tennessee. He's in the middle of Tennessee, on the southern middle of Tennessee, where he's at. That's Roger. Roger's like right off I-65, Interstate 65, which goes north and south right through the middle. Roger lives right off the side of the interstate right there.
Misty been all over the place. Parker, you're wrong.
I don't keep up with where I go. It's kind of one of those situations you go down the road until you see the red barn with the white door, and then you make a right, and then you keep going until you see where the fence is down over here. That's my direction. So
I usually stick to the East Coast. I either go north to Maine or I go down towards Florida somewhere. But
Wow.
All right, Jeff, hang on backstage.
Yeah.
I will.
If I want to get your info, where I want to talk with you some more.
Yeah.
Just hang on backstage. All right,
Yeah,
y'all.
you too,
everybody.
See y'all.
See you next week.
bye, y'all. Have a good Sunday.
Good night. Thank you. Bye. Squirrel.
Hey, y'all. Hey, Spencer. We're swapped around.
Huh?
We're swapped around again. Hold on.
Yeah, but I know you do it on purpose.